Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought that doing a week in my reading life video would be really fun, just to kind of see how much I read and what books, page number, all that. So today is Sunday and I will be just taking you Sunday through Sunday and we'll see what I read this week, and hopefully I'll be reading my November TBR. Let's hope. One thing that may stop me from reading my November TBR is that Lost and Lasted by Lila Sage comes out on Tuesday, and I'm so excited. Tuesday, I will probably just put a pause on whatever book I'm in and read a good bit of Lost and Lasted. To start off this reading vlog, I will be finishing a book that is not at all on my November TBR, but Immortal Dark. I started it in October and I have not quite finished yet, though I am almost done. I really like the concept of this book, and I've enjoyed it, but at the same time it kind of feels, I don't really understand our main character and her motives, I guess. I don't feel really super connected to the characters at all. I don't know, I am very like midway about how I feel about this book right now, but I love the concept so much. But anyways, I'm gonna finish this today, and then I guess I will collect my thoughts better somehow and give them to you. Let's go ahead and start reading, and I'm gonna try and finish Immortal Dark now. Do you mind? I realized I did not check in with you guys last night again, so it is the next day, it's Monday, so I have stats for yesterday. I read 87 pages of Immortal Dark and finished it. Then Wild Love by Elsie Silver, I started that last night, and I got 46 pages into that. So overall, for Sunday, I read 133 pages. I realized last night that I didn't tell you guys what Immortal Dark was about. Basically, Kadon and her sister June grew up in a foster home away from this arcane society, but they've always known about it. They know that this society, vampires exist. Kadon's sister June goes missing. Kadon is convinced that this one vampire took her sister, and he lives in this arcane society that's hidden from everybody else, hence no soul can enter without an invitation. She wants to find June and she wants to kill whoever took her. So she infiltrates the society and she has to live in her family house, which, you guessed it, contains that very vampire. This book is a YA fantasy, a little bit of romance. It's really more fantasy. Learning about the world that this is in is very fun. It's very much like our world, but just with vampires, the secret society. I would say for me, about halfway through this book is when I kind of was like, are we really getting world building information, or is this just kind of info dumping and I don't understand it? I think I already said that I do not understand the main character, her motivations. I don't really like her. She's not likable, which I don't have to like a character, but I didn't understand what she was doing. It seemed like she was very wishy-washy. On the one hand, she so badly wants to save her sister, but then that starts feeling like it's not very important to her, but then she keeps saying it is. I don't know. The romance was good. I do love an enemies to lovers, but it did feel a little flat to me. This is 3-star for me. I may continue to read the series. I'm not sure yet. If dark academia, fantasy, enemies to lovers, slow burn sounds good to you, and vampires, then I do recommend you try it. And then after I finished Immortal Dark last night, I did start Wild Love by Elsie Silver, which I've been looking forward to for so long. So Wild Love is my Fable Book Club's choice of the month. I've had it for a long time on my shelves, but I, for some reason, haven't gotten to it. But the first 46 pages last night, I was already like, Elsie Silver. She is a queen. She's so good. Her writing, I love. Wild Love is about Ford Grant and Rosie Belmont. Ford Grant is a billionaire. He has just been named the hottest billionaire, which he hates. And he just really wants to get away from all of it. He's bought land. He's bought this little property out in Rose Hill because the paparazzi won't come and he doesn't have to be harassed by them. Ford's opening a recording studio in Rose Hill. So that is what he's kind of working on when we start this book. The same day we meet him, it is on the back of the book, his daughter that he did not know he had shows up on his doorstep and is like, hey, you're my dad. That for sure throws a wrench in everything he has thought. And Rosie Belmont is his best friend's sister. We meet Rosie in the beginning of the book in a terrible job, not really happy with her life, and she comes to a breaking point and she goes home, back to where her brother lives in Rose Hill. And childhood friends, Ford and Rosie, who mess with each other all the time and have this incredible banter because Elsie Silver, are now having to see each other. And that's where we kind of are. I'm loving it so far. Let's get to it and see how many pages I read today. My heart. My heart. This is so good. Tuesday. I wanted to give you some stats from yesterday. Monday, I read 132 pages of The Boyfriend on my Kindle before bed and a little bit, I think, before I woke up that day. And then 116 pages of Wild Love. That brings my Monday total to 248 pages, which is better than I did on Sunday, which is odd, honestly. When I woke up this morning, I did read a little bit more of The Boyfriend, and I am really excited. I'm getting super close to being done with it. So I'll probably start out tonight reading The Boyfriend because I need to know how it ends. I would give you the plot summary of The Boyfriend, but I honestly think that you should just go in blind. Just go in blind knowing that it is a psychological thriller. It is super interesting. It keeps me turning the pages. I can't wait to figure out what happens. It is just like a very fast read. I just don't want to tell you anything more than that. If you need to see the summary, go look at it. For my own good conscience, I cannot tell you any information because I loved going in blind to that book. I just finished The Boyfriend. 4 stars. It was really good. I did guess a few things, but not everything. I had a jaw drop moment, literally, which I feel like doesn't happen very often for me. So maybe it was a 4.5. I'll have to sit on that rating, honestly, because it was really good. It's just been a good reading day. It makes me happy. I think I'm gonna continue with Wild Love and see where we go from there. All right, so it is later. I have eaten dinner. My husband made some chicken marsala. Incredible chef's kiss. And now it is time to keep reading about Ford and Rosie. One of the things about them is they do write emails back and forth to each other. And I love a good email letter. I love it. I gush over that. I love it. Happy Wednesday, my sweet friends. We are now halfway through what I read in a week, and it's been a really heavy reading week. I've read a lot. This week's numbers may be a little more intense than normal, but let's get into what I read yesterday. So Tuesday, I read The Rest of the Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, and that was 232 pages. I will say that not only did I read this on Kindle, I did listen to a little bit of it as well. So when I went to do errands and back and forth to work, I was listening, so that does add a little bit, but 232 pages for that. When I got home, I finished The Boyfriend, and then I read 131 pages of Wild Love. So yesterday, I read a total of 363 pages. Again, this has been an incredible reading week. To give you an update, I am still absolutely head over heels in love, obsessed with Ford and Rosie. This is shaping up to what could be a 5-star read for sure. On to what I will be reading tonight. I did already read earlier on my Kindle. I read a little bit of The Housemaid and listened to a little bit of it as well. I want to continue Wild Love, so that's probably what I'll do. There are no words right now. Unless it takes a turn, this will be a 5-star for me. I'm obsessed. I'm ready to read. So I think I'm gonna change because I'm still in my work outfit. I think I'm gonna go ahead and change and then binge Ford and Rosie and kick my feet and giggle. It has been 2 days since I last updated you, so it is Friday. I didn't film yesterday because I actually did something really fun, and I did film a few clips from that, so I'll put that in. But I do want to talk about Wednesday first. On Wednesday, I did read The Housemaid. I talked to you guys about that. So I read 184 pages of The Housemaid and 121 pages of Wild Love. On Wednesday, we had a total of 305 pages, which again, this has been a really good week. Thursday, I read a little bit in the morning and also on the way to work and back. Well, listened on the way to work and back. I did not read and drive. I also listened to it in the car on the way to my indie bookstore, bookmarked for their 1-year anniversary. Where I live, we did not really have an indie bookstore. All we had close to us at all was just Books A Million, and then 30 minutes away we had a Barnes & Noble. A small, locally owned, woman-owned bookstore has just been the greatest joy over the past year. With that being said, I'm going to insert clips here of their absolutely adorable 1-year celebration. They have the store all ready for Christmas, and they were doing drinks and food, and I had a glass of wine. It was the best time with the best people, so insert those here. I was so excited to go celebrate their 1-year anniversary with them yesterday. It was magical, lovely, and I cannot wait for all the years to come. I did buy a few books because clearly I had to celebrate their 1-year anniversary, and the best way to do that is buying books. So the reading I did on Thursday was in the morning a little bit, on the way to work and back via audiobook, and then on like a break at work. And I did finish The Housemaid. Thursday's total, 145 pages, and I finished The Housemaid. That is 2 books that I've finished this week. And I'm telling you, I maybe should film myself reading every week because it is making me very motivated. I'm just really enjoying myself. So Thursday's total was 145 pages, which is still good. Granted, some of those are on audiobook. My plan for tonight is to finish Wild Love by Elsie Silver. I'm 20 to 30 pages away from completing it. It's probably a 5-star, honestly. Every time I talk about the book, I smile, and that's kind of how you know. Once I finish Wild Love, I will give you guys my thoughts, and then it is time for me to start Lost and Lassoed by Lila Sage. I am buddy reading Lost and Lassoed with 2 of my friends, one of whom is Bailey, who creates these amazing t-shirts. I actually wore another one of her shirts in this video, and I don't think I told you guys, but it is the white t-shirt with Florida and the little wizards at Universal. I would say that about 90% of my book merch does come from Bailey, so shout out. So I'm buddy reading this, and we talk about chapter 1 through 15 tomorrow. I haven't even started because I just don't want it to end. I have issues, but I do need to read chapter 1 through 15. And so that's my plan for tonight. I may read more, I may not. Time to kick back and finish Wild Love. That was such a bad kickback. Stars, no notes. Chef's kiss. Good morning and happy Saturday. We are on our last day of What I Read in a Week. I have had such a good time with this video, and I'm really not ready for it to be over because I've had so many good reads. Let's go over yesterday's stats. For Friday, I started on The Housemaid's Secret while I was driving, and in the morning a little bit. It was my Kindle/audiobook. So I did 198 pages of that. Then I did finish Wild Love by Elsie Silver. That was only 33 pages to end. And then I started on Lost and Lassoed, which I read 118 pages of. So the total for Friday was 349 pages. We finished another book yesterday, Wild Love, and I think I have my thoughts a little bit more together to talk about it now. This was a 5-star book for me. Elsie Silver does a small town romance, a single dad romance like no other. She also writes a really good pining man. Ford Grant captured my heart, but so did Rosie. I loved both of these characters so much. The lock. I just noticed the lock on here. I flew through this book, clearly. I couldn't stop reading it. I was supposed to read it the whole month with my book club, but I just flew through it. So that tells you everything. Small town, single dad, billionaire. He falls first and harder, and he pines for her. She falls really hard too. Ugh, all of it. This book had my heart and will have my heart for so long. I will be thinking about these characters for such a long time, honestly. And then I started Lost and Lassoed. I got to chapter 18 yesterday. I can't stop reading the book. Lila Sage, she and Elsie Silver write some of my favorite books, honestly, and I always binge them. so fast. For today, I actually feel like I don't have anything planned, so I might get a ton of reading done today. I do have a buddy read discussion for Lost and Lassoed, and then who knows, I may start one of my other November TBR books because I haven't actually started any of those. So let's get today started by reading some more Lost and Lassoed, and I will check in with you guys later. It is a little bit later. It's around 1:30 now. It's actually a good bit later. I did put my Rebel Blue shirt back on because I wanted to go outside and grab some Instagram pictures with the whole series, at least what's out now, and this shirt as well. So I am wearing it again, sorry. I'm about 50% through with Lost and Lassoed now, so I thought I would come give you an update. First of all, it feels so good to be back in Rebel Blue. I love all of these characters, and I love Teddy and Gus. We have just gotten to a little bit of romance, so it is a slow burn, which I love. The way that Teddy and Gus are trying to continue to hate each other and not feel anything else is, I'm eating it up. I'm eating it up, absolutely 100%. And I am really just enjoying it so much, and I don't want it to be over, so I think I'm gonna stick it out at about 50% through right now and maybe pick something off of my November TBR to continue with for right now. It is now 6 o'clock, so I didn't check in with you guys. I had my buddy read FaceTime call, and I am clear to finish this, but I am going to hold off because I will just binge it and then it will be done. I want to extend my reading of this, so I continued an arc that I have going called A Devil in Every Dark Corner. It's pretty good. I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's just not my favorite, but I do kind of want to finish that. I think I'm going to continue reading the arc. It is about 9 o'clock now. I'm about 77% through with A Devil in Every Dark Corner, and I think I'm gonna try to finish this because it's a pretty quick read. And check in with you guys tomorrow to go over our final stats. It is officially Sunday, and we have come to the end of what I read in a week. So first I'm gonna go over some stats for yesterday. For Saturday, I read 30 pages of Lost and Lassoed, and then 300 pages of A Devil in Every Dark Corner, and I did finish that. So that brings us to a total of 330 pages for Saturday. Before I go over the stats for the whole week, I do want to get into what I thought about A Devil in Every Dark Corner. A Devil in Every Dark Corner is about these two witches, they're sisters. Their parents started up this otherworldly investigations business, so they kind of go through, it's almost like supernatural. They hear stories, or people call them, about monsters, vampires, demons, etc. and they go fix it, help them out, get rid of them, whatever. Our main character, Imogen, is actually sick of this and she wants out. So we start with her away from the family, and she gets pulled back in, and they have to go on this epic adventure. Their parents are gone, yada yada. This book was like marketed as kind of like supernatural meets like Sabrina and the Teenage Witch. That is the feel I got while reading this book. That being said, I did give this 3 stars because the plot was really good and it intrigued me. I think the overall idea of the story was really good. I didn't feel connected to the characters at all. I felt like they were kind of one-dimensional. There were a lot of flashbacks in like the two sisters' heads. Like they would go, oh, remember when we hunted this monster? And they would describe all the gore. Gore didn't really bother me, but it just felt unnecessary. Maybe just the flashbacks in general felt unnecessary because it didn't really add anything. Around the end of the book, it did start feeling like they were trying to like give me these one-liner lessons. Like, oh, well, this is what you get when you have friends. Like, thank God we have friends to help us. And that threw me off. So overall, I think it was cute. I do think a lot of people will like this. I've seen a ton of people who love it on Goodreads and Fable, whatnot. It just wasn't for me. So take that with a grain of salt. Just wasn't my favorite. Now we get to go over the stats for the week. In total for this week, I read 1,873 total pages, which is incredible. And I finished 5 books. I finished Immortal Dark, which I gave 3 stars. Then I finished The Boyfriend, and I gave that one 4.25 stars. Then I finished The Housemaid, which was a reread, and I gave that 4 stars. Again, my rating didn't change on that one. Then I finished Wild Love, and I gave that one 5 stars. And then lastly, A Devil in Every Dark Corner with 3 stars. I genuinely had so much fun making this video this week, and I will definitely do more later. Probably will start on my November TBR now, and I will see you guys next time.